Welcome to Fortune Cookies. Welcome to 2023, my first production video of the year. I know that I promised that I was going to try and stay away from this subject. Unfortunately, I got a lot of emails from you guys. So I am going to do a on the cusp of the book release, really reading. I can't even say it. These two are so oversaturated. There's so much information about them. Knowing what I do about oversaturation, I mean, you really have to be, from my time in Los Angeles, from my experience in my own business, my own businesses. This is, one of two businesses that I own personally. And also through my corporate work and the training that we have there, the oversaturation is ridiculous. From a moral standpoint, I would not want this much information out about myself, about my family, or about my people. So I'm curious how they are feeling on the cusp of this book being delivered to the public. Myself, I am not going to purchase a copy of it. I sound exhausted. I know I do. I hope all of you are good. I hope you're all having a good start to 2023. I'm having a weird start. We're starting my tarot course. This is the first tarot course I've taught in about a year. I was doing private tutoring. So I am bringing the tarot course to you all. I've done group classes before, but I'd held off on it for a while. So you can see one of my other videos if you want information about that, or you can always email me at fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com. That was how I got all the requests for this book reading. So let's take a look. Let's see how he's feeling now that we are approaching the book release. I guess it's coming out on Tuesday. So I'll try and post this video up sometime on Monday so that you guys can see it. I'm recording this over the weekend, Sunday to be specific. So how is he feeling? Is he feeling triumphant? Is he feeling not so sure? Definitely a measured response. Oh, okay. Measured response to his enthusiasm over the book. He seems to be hanging on to the emotion in a proper way, or at least he thinks that this is in a proper way. He's not too excited. He's not too upset. He's not too concerned about the PR. Makes me think that the leak, possibly was not something that was done accidentally. He wants to see how the whole book and not just the leaks is received by the public. But he feels like very much in control of himself. Now, those of you that have watched me read with this deck, this is the Mystical Melodies. I'll put a link in the description because I know all of you guys love this deck. So he usually gets that sad squirrel. And the sad squirrel, when he's upright, is like a toddler having one of those fits where he's just kind of stamping his feet and like freaking out and just completely out of control. It's like a Target or, Bed Bath & Beyond or grocery store kind of tantrum freak out. It looks like that's going away. He's kind of regaining control over that. And this much more mature aspect of having control over his feelings, which is something we don't typically see from him. The Two of Swords in reverse, making some hard decisions, making some definitive decisions. And this is kind of the point of no return for him. And he's moving forward as a 2 of Wands. So crafting that future. 3 of Wands is over his, the most prevalent energy here, which is forging ahead with others. So this is a partnering and moving ahead. I mean, a lot of people are saying, oh, you know, the family's ready to take him back. This looks like he has made the decision to kind of move on. So I'm wondering if all those spreads and all the readers, and myself included, that are getting, you know, oh, there's a split happening, there's a split maybe it's a split happening from the family. I don't think this is a split happening from his current situation. The 3 of Swords in reverse is the energy under the surface. And that really tells us that he has come to terms with some of the pain and disappointment that he's experienced. So that it's very interesting, very interesting. What I think we should do, and I promised everyone that I was going to do this, my readings on celebrities and royals and whatnot would be much more proactive. So what should he do to achieve his end game? Okay, so let's see if we can figure out what his end game is going to be. So we'll take a card and we'll see what the end game is here. Just one from the ooh. That's our end game. The end game is just to be done with all of it. So from his perspective, what are we doing to achieve that end game? What can he do to achieve that end game? I think this is going to be very, very interesting to look at this. So we're looking with the lens that his end game is to be done with all of this. Let's see how he gets there. He has to start new projects. Has to see things from other people's perspective and create something very changing. Oh, here's that 3 of Swords again. We're going to clarify this. So to achieve this being done with everything, kind of emptying his, I know it's a sword, but emptying his cup, being done with all of this angst and trouble and anxiety, he has to start completely new. This is completely new start, kind of empty the cup and look back and see other people's perspective. I always read the Hangman as looking at how your behavior affected those around you, those in your community, those in your family, those in your immediate vicinity. So looking back to see how your behavior affected them, really important. That will be this tower moment for him. So tower moment is life-changing. When it's upright for me, those are things that happen to us. When it's in reverse, those are things that we've done to ourselves or to others. Actions that we have taken that have caused disruption, upheaval, not necessarily disruption. Sometimes it can be, you know, pushing someone out of their comfort zone, something like that. Maybe forcing someone to, not related to the reading, but to get sober, that kind of thing. So doing this, starting anew, seeing things from a different perspective, seeing how he's affected others, and realizing what he has done creates 3 Swords, heartbreak. And then he has to get real with himself. So these are the things that he has to do to kind of put all of his life to this point behind him, is really what he wants to do. And there's the return of our sad squirrel, not able to move forward, being stuck in a position of protection. Seems that, and that would it seems that position of protection is kind of key for him, for his personality, and for the person that he is. He really needs to be supported financially. I mean, we've got all these pentacles. It's definitely financial support. And also, we can now see from the PR, it looks like the palace really did, Kensington Palace really did hold back a lot of information that otherwise would have leaked out about him. So, is it the death of Independent George for my Seinfeld fans? I think, this is something changing. There's definitely something changing for him to get to this, which is putting it all behind him, putting his life to this point behind him and starting new for the second half. He is going to have to really see other people's perspective. He's going to have to understand, the temper tantrums and understand the need for protection from his blood family. It's my opinion. I'm just reading the cards. So, we're just reading the cards. How is Meghan feeling on the cusp of the book being released? How is she feeling? Immediately, I have Chris Farley go, "What'd you do?" This is her end game. So I'm back. All right. So I don't know, that cut out. I'll try and edit it out. So we had the 5 of Cups for Meghan's endgame. So let's see how she gets there. Okay. 5 of Cups is not looking at anything that's good in your life, not looking at anything that is happy or positive or beneficial. It's really about just kind of looking at the things that are terrible. So not sure what her ultimate end game is, or if she's just trying to color things with a really gloomy crayon at this point. But what steps does she need to take to achieve that goal? 4 of Wands. She needs to make peace in the household. Release her. Ooh. There's a lot of stuff like that in these 2 readings. So let's see what we got. Energy on the top and energy on the bottom. So she needs to create a happy home by releasing herself from her binds and contracts. So this is something that we may see. And then we have this heartbreak and tower crashing moment, something that you have done yourself, something that you have made happen. And then she can start and move forward and do some new things. Up here, her mind is on her money and her money's on her mind. So this is a dearth of finances, a dearth of money, a dearth of material goods and things like that. And under the surface, trying to figure out where to find those. So she needs to come up with a better plan. She needs to come up with sugar daddy. She needs to get rid of the broke prince. Find a good attorney. That is definitely find a good attorney card, and start telling her story. So I've been saying for some time that I always thought, if they do break up, she is going to say that he was damaged goods, that he was predisposed to certain things, like his family has been accused of, predisposed to misogyny, just not being a nice person. There, we saw a little drip feed of that in his book. So I'm wondering if this is going to be now. I'm not passing judgment on the marriage or on what's happening with them. I don't know. But let's see. Let's see how Kensington Palace in general is feeling. So we're going to be looking in this spread more at the men in the gray coats, okay? Because we have a family. We have King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince and Princess of Wales, and we have everybody else. All the rest here on Gilligan's Island. But there is a significant amount of power consolidated in the court, in the courtiers. We know that from the courtiers book. So let's take a look at what those kinds of conversations are, because they really are devoid of the familial emotion. They don't have the skin in the game, the blood in the game. So let's see what the court is thinking. Those men in gray suits, spelled with an E, not with an A. Wait, no. Gray with an E is English. Gray with that. I always spell it both ways, and I always get called out on it. So let's see what the courtiers are thinking, doing. What is their end game with the release of this book? Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And let's pull one out. They want him gone. They want him permanently gone. They want him exiled. They do not want him around. So we'll put that right there. And then what do they do to get there? All right. Keep calm and carry on. There's going to be messaging. They are. And, oh boy. And under the surface. All right, so they are going to keep calm and carry on. They're not going to freak out. They're not going to, completely lose it. There's going to be messaging. That Knight of Swords is the Page of Swords is usually internet messaging, that kind of stuff. This can be a bit more severe messaging. This can be cease and desist, things sent by registered mail, by certified mail, those kinds of things. The Three of Cups in reverse. Three of Cups upright is my tribe card. Those are my girls. My girls, Deanna, my girls, Kathy, Luna, and Shelly, and Alicia. Those are my tribe. Okay. Those are my girls. They're, a lot of them are ride or die. Like I've known them since kindergarten. Those are the people that you cling to. Those are the people you call up in the middle of the night when you need a ride or you need to get a shovel and some lime. Sorry, no jokes aside. Like I'm not doing that. But when we go Three of Cups in reverse, these are people that don't have a vested interest. These are the people that are not going to play games. Like they're not going to play these little middle school drama games. And he said, she said, you're going to put something out in the news. And I'm going to put something out in the news. You're going to put something out in the news. And I'm going to put something out in the news. They're not doing that. They're going to end the conversation very, very soon. And that's where our King of Wands comes in here. And this is our big mouth. This is the big guy at the table. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but this is the big man at the table. This is the one who goes, this is what we're going to do. And we're going to take their legs out from under them. Money is the issue here. So I think this is going to be a cut and run on the money. I think they're going to turn this spout off. Spout's going off. So that, or at least that's the threat that they're going to have. So how do they do this? They turn it off. No more loans. Be gone. Go on. Go your own way. We're not working with you. We're not bailing you out anymore. I think they're going to restrict the access to the sovereign. And I had a bunch of cards jump out, so we'll put those on the side for now. And they're going to let him pine away for what he lost. Now, my two jump outs here. We have the Knight of Wands and the King of Swords. Now, two very dissimilar characters here. The Knight of Wands is truth, justice, the American way. He's saving kittens out of a tree. Really just going above and beyond, making things right. This guy, King of Lies, is not telling the truth, and he doesn't care who knows it. The King of Swords upright for me is always a little bit cold. He's very logical, very straightforward. He's not going to sugarcoat anything. If you look terrible in an outfit, he's going to tell you. When we get him in reverse, now he gets really nasty and really mean. So looks like we might be looking at some really terrifically mean messaging. Somebody putting it together and somebody delivering that messaging. Now, this could be the two boys. We could be looking at Harry here as someone who's frantically trying to go and make something of himself, and Prince William about to lay the hammer down, the verbal, logical hammer down, and shut the door. So are they advising that the royal family shut the door? Absolutely. They're saying, game over now. There's our death card. So that's really what we've got going on with the courtiers. So will the courtiers release the Sussex survivors from their NDA? Still thinking about it. Okay. They're not coddling anyone. The Empress really is a great caretaker. So when she shows up in reverse, we're not coddling anybody. We're not helping anybody along. We're not going to make anybody's life easier. So we could be looking at that. We could be looking at there's some kind of, the training wheels are off kind of thing. They're still debating whether that is a good look for Kensington Palace at all. It may make sense for them to do this on a smaller scale and just have the rumor out there rather than the full-blown en masse. Here you go. You've got the whole Sussex survivor squad out there to tell their story. So it looks like it may be a slow leak. And like this is a death by 1,000 cuts. Like they'll just let people, kind of tell their story and kind of let that rumor get out. They may say, you know what, you can tell your friends, and you could say those kinds of things without saying them. So, really, I think that's really what we're looking at. I am not very interested in reading this book. I'm going to be honest. I think there's going to be plenty of people. I mean, the Omid Scobie book, I had listened to it. Somebody posted it on YouTube and they read it on YouTube and I listened to the whole thing, so I passed my judgment on that. It was okay. It was not any kind of, it wasn't a page turner for me. I don't think this will be a page turner. I think the big news is out. I think we did get the big releases. I think we know what, the gist of it. William was mean. He pushed him down. He broke a dog bowl. he got stung by a bee. Oh no, that was somebody else. I think, they're trying to pin Catherine as being, emotional and, not very welcoming, which, we saw the pictures of her at Wimbledon. I saw her on a number of occasions. There's one video of her hugging her. So, initiating a hug. So that's okay. We know that William recoiled at being hugged by her. Makes sense. That's something you don't do in a professional environment. So makes sense to me that he would not want to do that. If he's not a familiar person, like, that's totally fine. But nonetheless, I think, oh, you know what? We'll do one more reading. Look at that. I popped back in. Let's see. The book is written, so we can ask this question. How is the royal family going to fare after this book is released? Book is written. So we know the written word is done. We're going to see how the royal family fares after this. I think this is going to take them down a few pegs. I think it is going to damage their reputation. I do think that we're going to see, if there's a Q rating for celebrities, there's, maybe there's a Q rating for royals. I think we are going to see some, just, we're sick of this. Like, all this drama. It's like, nobody wants to hear this drama. Can't we kind of restart this and do something else? It looks like a little fizzle here. We have that page of pentacles and the page of wands, kind of trying to get something started. Like maybe we can do a few things. I think the royal family is going to lay low a little bit after this, maybe dial back some of those public appearances. This whole judgment thing, it looks like they're going to say, this guy can't even keep control over one child. How can we let him be the sovereign? So I think there'll be some flexing, trying to fix that. But there's going to be some stories that are revealed in this book that we're unaware of. There's still some secrets, I think, that are going to be revealed. So that's a shame. Let's see how Harry and Meghan fare after this. How's the public opinion of them after this? I'm exhausted. Interesting, same cards. I think there's going to be some lot of concern. We have that Nine of Swords under the surface. Everyone's going to find a lot of the information disturbing. As we've already seen, some of the information that did come out was alarming and disturbing and a little inappropriate. So definitely, the whole thing with the lip gloss. Okay, I'm just going to start with the lip gloss. The whole thing with the lip gloss, for all of my foreign viewers, it's not an American thing. We don't share lip gloss. We're not like that here. We don't share lip gloss. If I was with my mom or my sister, yeah, I may do that. Maybe one of my really close girlfriends, but we're not sharing it. And like, I know that they're supposed to be family members, but we don't share lip gloss. It's not something we do. It's not an American thing. Just final word on that. So I think some of the other information that we have about the royal jewels now, let's put it that way, Prince William's and Prince Harry's, way more information than we needed to have. I'm not sure that I understand the context of why we needed to hear about his loss of virginity. Maybe somebody will tell me when they read the book. I don't think it's that critical of information. I think the general public is going to look kindly on him because of this. I think there's going to be like, oh, wow, he's like really damaged goods, but a little damaged goods. I just think that we're going to see that. I think, it will improve his perspective in the public. But I don't think that they're going to see him as any kind of a builder or anything. He's still going to be seen like a kind of bratty. I'm not getting a whole lot of Meghan on here, so maybe we'll take a look and see what the public is going to think of her after the book. They're going to think she wrote it. They're going to think she wrote it and that there's an agenda behind it. I don't want to say much more about that, but I think that the perception is going to be that her hand was all over the text. So let's just leave it at that. I'm sick of these two. Sorry, I know. Trying to be much more high-minded. So I will cease on that one. Let me give you all a Raise Your Vibration card. I love this deck. And I pull one a day for myself. It's available on Hay House. See if we can raise our vibrations after that reading. I trust in my gifts. So those of you that have gifts, we all do, just so you know, trust in your gifts, okay? So my gift of gab, gift of the shuffle. I can shuffle from conversation to conversation, but I definitely have to trust my gifts. So you all should trust your gifts too. So with that, thank you so much for watching. This was a longer reading for me. I used to do really long readings, and then I got into the really short ones. I thought you guys liked them better. But this, everybody wants to know what's going on with these two. So I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. And I hope you don't mind the interruption in the middle of this. I'm going to try and edit it out. But if I can't, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go crazy. Have a great day. I will see you later this week.